So one of the questions I often get asked about LinkedIn is, how do I add value to my network? That is something you'll see a lot of in terms of posts on LinkedIn as people talk about the different ways that you need to add value to your network in order to get something back from it eventually, this idea of social capital, it's emotional capital. There are really only 6 different ways that you can add value to your network that we're currently aware of, so I thought I'd just share those with you now. So they are information, intelligence, money, support, skills, and access. So now I'm going to give you a few practical tips of how you can start adding value to your network. So let's start with information. It can be as easy as sharing an article, highlighting books that have just become published, or events that are interesting for your industry. Simple. Intelligence is where things start to get interesting. That's number 2. That's when you start bringing in your unique lens of experience and understanding in order to help people move forward quicker. So it could be your key takeaways from a particular article or reflections. It could be a summary of the book you've recently read or key takeaways from that event that you've just been to. It could be sharing an example of something that you've been working on in your life and how you've done that and what the results have been and what you do differently next time. That idea of sharing lessons learned is a really powerful tool on LinkedIn. And that's when you start to really think about the work out loud movement, which in itself is probably an entire another video. Other things you'll see a lot of on LinkedIn where people are trying to provide this intelligence might be things like lists of influencers that they follow that they find very useful. It could be lists of tools that they use for the same reason. It could be a list of groups that they've joined and that they're finding really phenomenal, interesting debates going on as well. So other ways that you can look at intelligence is to look at what your potential competitors or collaborators are doing as well, and seeing what sort of opportunities there are to move and progress forward. Then we move to money. Now, social selling is in itself an entire video series. It's not even one video. But what you can do is utilize the intelligence and the information that you find about people online, whether that's your prospects, your current clients, or your investor community, and utilize that information effectively to move people from awareness to buying, and then from buying to brand ambassador, what we call the ABBA model, which I probably need to do a video on as well. Then we have support. So support could be as simple as giving people a testimonial or recommendation on their LinkedIn profile. It could be it could be a shout out where you promote them to other people in your network. It could be physical support. So if someone needs a hot desk for a minute, you might be able to provide them with a desk that they can utilize. It could be emotional support. It could be personal, professional development support. So certainly in groups we find that's a psychologically safe space for you to share problems and challenges and how you can work through those together. And then you have emotional support as well. So it could be as simple as listening to somebody and making them feel heard. Then we move into skills, number 5. So with skills, obviously with LinkedIn's legacy as a recruitment platform, we talk a lot about talent and attraction and retention on the channels. So that's one way, of course, that you can highlight skills and find the skills that you need for your business, the human capital elements of your business. The other part of it, though, is that you can have skill swaps. So we see a lot of that online now, where people swap their understanding of one thing for something that you understand, and you flip them over. And that's a great way of adding value to your network. And it doesn't necessarily have to be related to a professional job. It could be anything. I've had skill swaps on cooking, I've had skill swaps on guitar lessons, Latin dance lessons, all sorts of things, which is where the real community and vibrancy of LinkedIn comes alive, for me particularly, I find. And then we have access. That's number 6. So access to your network is one of the most generous, powerful things that you can do on LinkedIn. Your network is your net worth on LinkedIn. So what we like to do is play a game of human snap, which is where we bring 2 people together in our network who don't know each other, snap them together, and then see what unfolds in terms of the fantastic conversations and opportunities that they then uncover to work together. And so that's definitely the way forward. The one thing that you should take away from all of this is coming at LinkedIn to add value, you have to do it with a generosity of spirit. You have to really believe that what you're doing is delivering value. It's not about what you're getting out of it. So what we don't want to see is that idea of pitch slapping, where you just get online, advertise yourself, don't care about anybody else, and just have really, you're using it as a digital soapbox as opposed to any form of tool to really build your personal brand, engage with insights, find the right people, and build relationships. So no pitch slapping, please. And I will do a video on that very, very soon.